Does
Okay,
she?
first off, I'm gonna start by saying I don't regret sharing anything because I've heard so
Yeah.
many people say, "Don't share before you're full." Long story short, we
Welcome back to the Mister
and the sister
Podcast with Trev.
and Lisa,
We'll get that right eventually.
we did it.
We did the thing. Yeah, I mean, I think it sticks. Let me make sure my mic is working on the recording end. Yes, okay. Um, There's a lot going on. Like, I don't even know how to ease into anything. Um,
Um,
do you want to just like just
okay,
shoot?
first off, I'm gonna start by saying I don't regret sharing anything because I've heard so
Yeah,
many people say, "Don't share before you're full." Long story short, we are no longer pregnant. It's difficult, but we're getting
yeah,
through it. I mean, um, but I don't regret telling anybody because honestly, I mean, not a lot of people watch this anyway, but I don't regret
yeah.
saying it because on here we're real and we talk about life and we talk about
Exactly.
everything. So this is a part of my life, and honestly, I would have felt like I was hiding it if I didn't tell the pod. Not so much that I was pregnant, but so much that I lost it. Like that's something we would talk about.
Right.
So um, yeah. Um,
Well, I didn't know. Like, I was like, because you told me yesterday. Like, I'm just gonna give the audience sort of just like a backstory. So, obviously, I put the last episode up, and I mean, it worth it. Like you said,
yeah.
like why? Like, I didn't want to take it down. Like, and I've already knew that you wouldn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no reason to like record episode 8 again. Which, by the way, I uploaded it thinking it was episode 7, but we already had an episode 7. I was like, wait a second, we're on 8. That's crazy. We're almost at 10 episodes. But anyway, yeah, you told me yesterday, and obviously there's a lot of like emotions that come with that. Obviously, but as just for like thinking about the pod, I was like, I mean, my opinion is basically what you just said. Was just like it's real. People go through things change, and I mean, obviously, we're at a point in the podcast for growth where it's like not there's not a big enough audience yet to make a big deal out of it. And even though like even if there was, I wouldn't think of it like that. I wouldn't think of it as like numbers or whatever. Like how are they gonna react? Because all that matters is that how y'all are taking it. Like
Yeah.
obviously everybody else, but what matters is you guys getting through it. But not only just like the podcast went up where you announced it, but I was thinking about like she might be not in the best headspace to record for like, that's why I gave you the option before I went to bed this morning. I was like, do you want to, yeah, because we've done it before, just like behind the scenes of how we operate is like sometimes we record every Wednesday, and if we can't record that Wednesday, it's just best that we just push it a week, just that way we give ourselves a week breather to like re-plan. And yeah, so I didn't know. I didn't know since this was news yesterday. I wasn't sure if you would want to even pod right now. So I was like, we can wait, or we can just go straight into it. But we could also go straight into it without talking about it. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to give it a couple episodes to like warm up to that, but honestly, applause to you for like just being like, I'm just gonna say it,
I
and
did.
and so it's not it's not an easy thing. And if anybody's listening to this that's a mom that's gone through a similar situation or whatever, let us know your story.
Yeah.
It's not easy
Yeah. It's
for
not.
anyone.
So I've known since Sunday, like that that it was gonna happen. Like I kind of give a brief story about it. I mean, I'm not. I was talking to my therapist. I have therapy on Tuesdays. It's like my 2 days, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's like, okay, I sit in front of my phone for an hour and I talk. But I don't think of it like that. But obviously, I mean, that's kind of what it is. Anyway,
Sponsored by BetterHelp. No, we don't
no,
have that yet.
those out there.
Like,
Um, anyway, so my therapist was crying and she was like, "You're just so strong and like I'm so proud of you for everything. Like you're handling it very well." And yes, but I don't see it that way because yes, I'm handling it very well, but like I'm also not handling it, and that's the thing. It's like I'm moving past it. I'm good. Like I'm not thinking about it. I'm doing everything to keep my mind off of it. Like yeah. Anyway, I'm sure you know what I'm saying. I'm not
right.
handling it. I'm avoiding it very well. But anyway, I wouldn't say I'm avoiding it now because I'm able to talk about it. Um, but anyway, Sunday. If anybody else has experienced this, then I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Sunday, I went to the ER for like extreme pain, and I told them that something was wrong. And they like did all the tests, ran all the tests. They're like, nothing's wrong. You're still pregnant. You're fine. Monday, then things changed, and I went back to the ER, and I was like, something's wrong. They're like, no, just follow up with your doctor. I'm sure that everything will be fine. And then I followed up with my doctor, and everything wasn't fine. And then, yeah, which I wasn't that far along. We hadn't even had our first ultrasound or heard the heartbeat or anything like that. And I think if we would have, then that would have made it 10 times harder.
Hmm.
But I don't think I've talked to you a lot about this yet, about like what the doctor said or anything like that. Like they had a feeling that the baby, the egg, whatever you want to call it, could have implanted in my fallopian tube. And if you don't know what that is, it's called an ectopic pregnancy. And if that grows, then like your fallopian tube can rupture, and then we'll have to completely remove it, or it can permanently damage, like to where I can't have kids at all, ever.
Yeah.
So they said if this doesn't resolve itself naturally, then we will have to do immediate surgery to like remove it.
Hmm.
So it's honestly a blessing that it happened naturally because I would have had to have surgery, most
Yeah.
likely. So that's that. So maybe that's why it's been a lot easier for me because I'm thinking about it in a positive way rather than a negative way because it probably would have had to happen anyway. It's not 100% sure that that's what it could have been, but I had all the signs leading up to that the past weekend. Um, yeah, that's that's what that is. There's not really much else I have to say about it. Like it is what it is. I needed to tell y'all guys and kind of give you a brief story of what happened. And I'm fine. We're handling it well. Um, we're just taking
Probably
some.
just it's mentally draining for you. It's got
Yeah.
to be like, and especially how far along you were and how your body was already going through stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
to add on top of like the fear of the loss, but also like just afterwards after you lose it, it's just probably got to be. I
Yeah.
was Yeah, I was just like kind of imagining you like just sleeping, just out of
Yeah.
like just complete like you're just depressed, and I mean,
Yeah.
quite frankly, you would have a right to be.
Yeah.
Um,
And it was
but
like
yeah,
that for. I would say today has been a lot better. Yesterday was
yeah,
like I'm not making it seem like I'm perfectly fine because I'm definitely like not like I'm what I my biggest issue right now is like I'm trying to do everything to like just keep going.
hmm,
But you can't just have a loss in one day. It's like a week process.
yeah.
So
Well, and I mean, it's like
yeah,
an actual death of somebody.
yeah.
I
And it's
mean,
like
like it can be viewed like that, even though it could all. I mean, it could be compared to all people want with like, oh, but like just this little thing or whatever. So it's not like losing like a person you love like that's actually here and stuff, but it's like it's still rough because it's like that it was going to be a living breathing human, so I mean
yeah.
it's rough,
Um
but it's hard to probably put your mind around that too, where it's like, yeah, but I don't know. And like what I'll just say it, like, you've been through this before,
yeah.
but not
To
this
this
far
extent.
along.
Yeah.
So, but there's probably a part of you that's like, well, I've experienced that pain before in a way, I mean, this one probably was the most, this one stung the most.
Well, there's things called like chemical pregnancies, which is kind of, I mean, chemical is pretty much like whenever you found out before you were supposed to start your cycle and then you started it normal, like there was something, but then it just didn't implant and you got maybe one positive pregnancy test and then you started your period. Like that's pretty much what it is. Sorry if I'm doing TMI for y'all boys that are listening.
Yeah, man, just.
Yeah, but like we had over a week of like telling people, getting excited, cleaning out what was going to be our nursery. Like we bought like a little onesie and like shoes or like a pair of shoes and stuff to tell our family, and like we've never gone through that before. We've never told this many people, or like went to the doctor and had it confirmed. Like I had 4 different doctor's appointments to have it confirmed, and like that was, yeah, I mean, that's what made it more real then. But the physical, like I told you, like chemicals, you just kind of start period. Like there was actually something that had implanted and something that was in there. So losing that versus, just starting a period is completely different. It's way more painful. It's way more traumatic and hard on your body. So I'm ready for that part to be over so I can move on. Like I'm trying, the past few days I've tried to like get this over with, like get it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The recovery.
But I feel like I can't fully mentally recover until I physically recover because it's a constant reminder. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel.
That makes sense.
So yeah. I've been in a lot of pain. Today better, and I wanted to tell y'all about my day, but I don't want any haters on here. Okay.
Bring them on. I mean, I don't care. I'll ignore them.
It's nothing.
I mean, like, I won't give them the light of day. Like, that's just how you have to do
it. This was how my day went today. I haven't got out of bed in a couple days, so today I got out of bed. It was actually, okay, let me preface. It's Valentine's Day today. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all.
Day of recording, yeah.
Yeah. Kevin normally gets off at 3, but he's like, okay, I'm going to work till 5. And I'm like, okay, great. That gives me more time because I had a master plan. Kevin works very hard. He's working all the time. He took a couple of days off just to be with me, and it's Valentine's Day, and I didn't know if he had anything planned. He was like, I'm going to wait to plan Valentine's Day for the weekend since I'm working. And I was like, no. Kevin takes me on dates all the time. It's my turn. So we had, hey, thank you for paying for my dinner tonight with the gift card he gave me for Christmas. Yeah, we were like, you know what? Let's just go here. Anyway, yeah, so for Valentine's Day, I showed up to his work, and then we went and ate and walked around the mall and saw Mean Girls. So that's how our Valentine's Day went. Except I thought he was getting off at 5 because that's what he told me, and then I get a text message at 4. Hey, I'm about to leave work early. I had to get in my car and rush over there really quick. But the reason I didn't want people to hit on me is because it's Valentine's Day, and normally guys take girls out on dates. I didn't want that today. I was like, I don't know. Because I told one of my friends that. They're like, oh, isn't he taking you out? No. It doesn't always have
to be that way, no?
Yeah, this is our 3rd Valentine's Day together. We go on dates all the time, every day, every weekend's Valentine's Day.
People are just so like things have to be a certain way. It's like we've created this culture where it's like the man's got to do all this stuff, and like, I don't know. I think there's a lot to that too, especially with like engagement. I think everybody thinks that the guy has to do it. I mean, I think it's perfect. It's like it's perfectly normal. I mean, I asked Ashley, but I'm not saying this happened to me, but I guess sometimes if a guy is waiting too long, the girl will just step up and do it. Like, or I don't know. I think it makes me want to ask somebody. I don't know anybody personally that's been asked by their woman. I
I
wonder
don't
if
even.
like I wonder if there's like something that happens to your pride a little bit. Like I want to know the psyche of it, of like, is it like your friends mess with you and stuff like that? I mean, it doesn't matter because that's a personal thing between you and the other person. That's why I've always felt that way, especially about engagement too. Like for example, a little bit of a tangent, but like I remember, and I could talk about this because it's not somebody that's in this person's life anymore, but like Ashley's sister, an ex boyfriend of hers, now ex, like asked her to marry her, but like I remember talking, like we were just, I think it was a family get together or like just a Christmas thing or something, like some situation where we're visiting Ashley's grandma, and I remember her just saying, and this is like a 75-year-old, 77-year-old woman or something with with some wisdom, I guess, but she was like, I just like I don't really. I think it was oh, she was actually comparing our engagements. She was like, Travis, I like that you did that in private and you didn't make it this big thing or whatever, like in front of people, because like the way that I'll just I'll call him Jim. So like the way that Jim like asked her to marry, it just like it was just like too much. Like I don't know, it's just like the public thing, and like that's just like that's how I feel about it too. Like I don't know. I've always felt this like in very inner cringe of just like of doing the thing in front of people. Now, is it special? Yes. Like I remember thinking and considering asking Ashley on her like outside whenever she graduated. I thought about it, but that was super early into the relationship. And I thought about it, and I think there was a little bit of like that's what she deep down she admitted to me later that she deep down like kind of wanted that. But I didn't really feel bad about it because I was like, yeah, but I needed time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I there's like there's that conversation like where people I don't know, they like there's a whole culture out there now of just like people thinking everything's got to be on social media and stuff like that, and I just like I can go on forever about just like how it's not for me.
Yeah.
I just like to keep things private and some things announced, yes, but even when I announce things on social media sometimes there's still this inner cringe, and I don't know how to explain that. I know there's got to be some guys out there that relate to that. Now, if announcing an engagement that you had privately, whatever, but like, I don't know, like I think it's kind of cute whenever couples do like they already had their private engagement, like where so they got someone to film the knee going down and stuff, and then they post it later. But like, I don't
I
know,
mean,
like, because at the end of the day, it is about you and that other person, and
yeah.
so like, and that's why like I feel like I have a lot of respect for how y'all did that because like it was a photo shoot, but it wasn't like a big thing. Like I mean, it's a big deal, but like it wasn't like y'all got a bunch of people together to do that or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
We literally had his sister and then Emily and her husband because they do
Yeah,
the photography thing, and then like the girls that were doing the videography, maybe 5 people there. I mean, and yeah, right down the road from where he grew up at, it was real special. Um, yeah, I mean, it was just
and I kind of derailed, but I just wanted to like
yeah,
that's it was kind of just like a discussion about like an overall like when people do anything that's like it always just something about it doesn't feel like you're doing it for that person. It's almost like an attention thing, and I might be wrong. And like, and no hate to anybody that did it that way, where you like announced it in front of a bunch of people at a get together or whatever. But I just personally don't agree with it. Like, it's just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. But also, people are different. I just, that could be my introverted side, but I this like, I don't know.
yeah.
Like,
Um,
yawn.
Yawn. Dude,
I
I
feel
was.
I feel like you have something else here.
Oh, I was just gonna talk about that my highlight of the week. Well, besides tonight, tonight was fun.
Go for it. I
Duh,
need to fill time.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Duh.
that was a crazy game.
I know. We
That
watched the
was
first half in the hospital, and then we watched halftime show in the hospital. We rushed home at the end of halftime show, like over to our friend's house, and then watched the rest of it on
Dude,
the.
that last half was the best anyway. Like the first half was pretty much trash, and then like the last half, I was like, "Dang, Chiefs, okay." Like I just didn't expect like how it
Yeah,
turned around.
dude.
Like
Okay,
and
so
tying like that. I don't know if that's the first time overtime. I don't know if overtime is the first Super Bowl history thing, but like I
it's
know
like the
it hadn't happened in a while. At least from like in my I've probably watched the last like 10 of them like consistently where every year I watch it. Um, and that was one of the craziest that I've seen in my history of watching the Super Bowl.
Okay, so there's a hot topic going around with the Super Bowl. I'm sure that you've heard about it, but
Oh
before
boy.
we get into that, yes. So Sydney and James, our best friends, closest friends, we never watch football together. When I tell you that we were the most diehard football fans during that Super Bowl, we were getting so mad. We were screaming at the TV. James was getting up, throwing his hat down, taking his shirt off. Everything like he was mad. And we, of course, Chiefs. That's who we were going for. I don't know who you were going for.
Yeah, it
But
was. It was the Chiefs. Yeah.
okay, good. I'm about to say you're not my brother no more. I'm just kidding. We all know why.
I honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I usually go for the underdog. So I made the decision beforehand because Chiefs, like, let's be honest, they're the mainstream one. Like, they're the one. Like, it's Taylor Swift, Travis Kelsey. Like, it was, that, like, and they've like won Super Bowls before. I do think. I think they said this is third or fourth.
It's a
So
third
like,
in 5 years.
so I knew that the other guys can't even remember what they were called. I usually go for the underdog, but I went with my gut this time and went with Chiefs just because it was like the thing, and like I was like, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm basically voting for Taylor Swift. I'm just like, let's I believe like and it was just fun to watch her reactions whenever they did cut to her, but yeah, I went with Chiefs just cause, and I'm glad I went with my gut because they turned that around and talk about like those last throws where it's like getting down to the wire, like even before the
Yeah.
overtime, those last few seconds where they're just playing it super safe. They're like throwing it to each other, immediately getting on the ground, just trying to inch their ways toward the goal. That was like pristine playing. Like they didn't like at the end they took no risks,
Yeah.
and it was beautiful, but beautifully done. But what were you saying
Yeah.
about it?
But no, we were just diehard Chiefs fans, and like I said, I just got home from the hospital. I couldn't really move around much, but I was sitting on the couch screaming at the TV. um,
It was so
so
fun, man.
did you see either on social media or during the Super Bowl the push? Travis Kelsey
Push.
pushing his coach and screaming at him.
Oh, the meme. The meme, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of versions of that. People quoting movies. There's one of like quoting Star Wars, like Anakin saying like, "I will bring peace, freedom, and justice and security to my new empire." Like, amazing memes, amazing memes.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually see the real clip. Like, I didn't.
I could read his lips from the TV. He was mad. He was basically saying they had just like fumbled the ball or whatever it's called. I think that's what it's called. But he was, like obviously he wasn't in the game then. He was on the sidelines, like he was sitting, and he went up to the coach after he watched that and told him to put me in, I'll score, and he did. But I mean, everybody on TikTok is trying to get him canceled for that, saying that he should be kicked off the team. He disrespected his coach. Blah, 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 blah. His coach made a statement about it and was like, that's just how we talk to each other. I mean,
Yeah, it's football.
Yeah.
Like they're guys. Like there's like
Right.
like have everyone knows. Like everyone I think goes into the Super Bowl thinking, hey, yeah, let's have a nice professional game. You know how many times like during the Super Bowl, or the only really time I watch football, so this is the only time I've really seen it. But like how many times you get that moment of like a play happens, they throw them off of each other, usually it's the opposite teams, like pushing them or whatever. Like, look, you're working your tail off out there, you're sweating, you're hot headed, you're wore out, you're gonna steam a little.
Yeah.
And testosterone is flowing.
Mm-hmm.
And, I bet, with Travis Kelsey, I assume that's what it was. He's just getting mad. Like, it's very, emotions are high in the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
people can't say, like, you know, people can't say, like, that it's like, oh yeah, you just like you put your, like, people that are hating on Travis for that, like, you put yourself in that position, you work your tail off, wear yourself out during the game, and you see if you don't get, like, really upset. Yeah, like, maybe he shouldn't have yelled at his coach, but, like, when tensions are that high and, like, your career is laying on the line, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little different.
Yeah. We're at.
And also, coaches scream at the football players, like, and cuss them out and stuff all the time. So they can't say, like, he probably has done that before. By the way, I have to get it out of the way. I don't know if people know who this is, especially if you're really young. But the coach, I cannot get it out of my head. He's Wilford Brimley. I don't care. He's Wilford Brimley, the
I don't know.
diabetes guy. This is Wilford Brimley. Looks just like the coach. Oh, you're still muted. You're still muted.
Oh, my bad. I've also heard a lot of people say that he looks like the Lorax.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like, it just looks so similar. It's just the bigger guy thing with the white mustache. So me and Ryan were watching and just couldn't. We just kept saying diabetes and, like, whatever. So because that's genuinely how he says it. And diabetes. It's like so southern.
Yeah. Yeah, Super Bowl was awesome. We talked about going to a Chiefs game next year and literally watching football every Sunday that the Chiefs play.
Yeah.
Just because it was so much fun. Like, I've never sit down and wanted to watch a football game until my wife's boyfriend was in the game. And then I was like, okay, yeah, Taylor Swift is amazing. And for any Taylor Swift haters out there who think she's ruining the NFL, just want to say she was only shown for 54 seconds of the game.
I told Ashley, I was like, I was surprised they didn't have her sing the national anthem, and she was like, that would have been too on the nose. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, but I'm just surprised they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know she's going as a guest, and probably they might have asked her, and she didn't want to do it. I
They
mean, that's
asked
fine.
her to do the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Or to do the Super Bowl. They asked her to do halftime. That's what I meant.
oh, yeah, that would have been really on the nose then.
Yeah, I think she made this statement, or she saw it somewhere. One of her producers or whatever it is, did. But they're like, if that's not what the Super Bowl is about, and they knew that a lot of people would have been there just to see the halftime show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
That's
I know
respectful. I mean, she seems very level-headed about everything, and, like,
Yeah.
doesn't want to. I think she's very self-aware of the memes, and, like, just like, like, I don't know. And Ashley was bringing up, like, a tracker or something before the Super Bowl started. Like, she had to work, but, like, I think it was the night before or something. Just like, Taylor Swift is on the way to the Super Bowl, and I'm like, does that woman have any privacy? Like,
Yeah.
like literally, people could, like, publicly look at where she is. I'm like,
Yeah, it's because
forget that.
Well, it's because she was in Tokyo. She literally had a show. Tokyo's time is like a day behind. She flew to, after her Tokyo show that ended at like 11 p.m., flew to LA and landed at like 10 a.m. that morning. And then, so let me just say, in a week, she won 2 Grammys, dropped a new album, did 2 shows in her tour, and then went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, talk about jet lag. She was probably
Yeah,
very
she's
tired
probably-
watching.
Yeah, but she's literally, it never stops. So, I mean, she's literally Superwoman. It's crazy.
Superwoman.
Um,
Super Bowl woman.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how people are gonna look at her.
And
But-
it's funny because she knows the comments while she was walking out of one of the past games with him. some man shouted at her, "You're ruining the NFL." She's like, "I didn't do anything." It's like she takes it so lightly, like she does not care, but she's also super self-aware that she's not showing too much of herself. She's letting him
Yeah.
have his moments. It's very, like, she's very, what's it called? Just respectful and, like,
Humble.
yeah, humble. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Humble.
Which is good. I think you gotta have that, and like, and I'm glad that she doesn't. The more, like, if she was the type of person to speak out on social media about every comment and just like, you know, like she would just be digging herself a bigger hole. Just do your thing. Like, you're being hated on just because you're dating somebody. That's
Yeah.
all it is, and it's like, but she'd be hated on for dating whoever else. So it's like,
Yeah.
it might as well. It's not like it's a. It's not like it's a musician dating a musician. She's dating an NFL player. Like, it's not. It's not that big of a deal, guys. Let her be.
Yeah.
Like, just like it just bugs me how people. They just want to like get into people's lives so much that they think they know everything about you, and it's like there's probably plenty we don't know about her, and that's just fine because it's her business.
Yeah.
I saw that picture or whatever that was like something like one of her, rather her first show ever publicly or something. It was like super young with a guitar, and she just had like a small audience, and then it like cuts to like shows like her audience now, where like if you have to be on a screen during your show, it's like then you're a big performer. And she genuinely gets like, well, just from the clips I've seen, she genuinely gets like surprised by the audience reaction during her shows. She stops and has a moment of shock and stuff like that. I just don't know if she's acting that out or what, but I don't believe she is. I think she's very, just from what I know of her, I think she's a genuinely good person, and just trying to do her thing. She just happens to be loaded.
Yeah. That's the only thing I don't really like is that, like, well, Taylor, after every show, she goes to the hospital, like the children's hospital, whatever, near her, or like sends somebody to do it and donates to them. Like, she's made that public that she does that. And I really appreciate that. Like, that's something really
Very admirable.
to do. But her ticket prices are outrageous, and I don't know if that is because what she said.
She's probably not in control of it.
Yeah, if she agrees with it or not, but like that is outrageous, and I get it. Like, she's very well liked, and like more than anybody I know, honestly. Like, as of now. But I mean, I can scroll through Facebook and I see Taylor Swift all day, and I get that's like more for a you thing, but I mean, I was bring it up again. I was in the ER, and literally the nurse was asking me about Taylor Swift and if I liked Taylor Swift because I was watching the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So I could walk in anywhere and somebody's gonna know and like and love Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, everybody's got their thing. I've got my fandoms of stuff that are constantly shared to me, and so there's a circle of people that talk about that.
Yeah.
So then it's really special when you run into somebody in person that likes the same stuff and
Yeah.
bond over it. Bonding.
Place is tired. Yeah. So Super Bowl, Valentine's Day. Trying to think of what else we can do.
Yeah, same. I don't know.
And we don't always have to fill the hour. I know that, but
Yeah.
Yeah, this week was kind of rough, and I don't really have a lot going on this week. I had a couple of interviews, so let's say prayers that I get a job. I'm just being real with you right now. Like, and it's not really even, don't think that I'm poor. That sounds really bad.
I'm poor. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll just be honest.
That's what we can talk about. Bro, I love Kevin to death, but these motivational how to be rich in 10 days speeches that he sees on TikTok and shares with me, and he's like,
and yet 10 days later, he didn't figure it out.
Yeah, we can do this and this and this, and dude, he's like, let's have 3 months saved up of all of our bills in an account. Let's pay off the car and the house this week. Not actually, but I don't know if anybody that is watching this has 3 months of bills saved up or 6 months and is living debt free. But if you are, I'm so proud of you. It ain't us.
Yeah.
It's hard to live debt free, especially at 20 years old. Yeah, and Kevin sees these things on TikTok, on TikTok, and I'm like, dude, do you realize that dude is like 55? He's like, or 60 or 65, or like.
There's ways to make passive income. There's ways to do it. It just like it's number one, the dedication / getting completely, and I mean completely, out of laziness. Number two, you have to have the time to do it, which probably means quitting your job, which is like its own problem in there because it's like can't really afford it if it doesn't work. Number three, it goes into number two, but the time is gonna take to do that, and like there's ways to do it. Like we live in a world now where there's like infinite ways to make money.
Yeah.
But do you have the mental space and the energy to do it? Like it takes dedication.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
But I mean, he's talking about on an hourly wage job, then do that. And it's not that I don't agree with him because it would be nice, but he showed me a video today, and he's like, this man, like, he's rich, and there is two different versions of rich in my mind. There is rich in money, and then there's rich in memories and family and friends and like all that kind of stuff. Like I could literally, my cat is on something today. I could have like literally no money in my bank account, but if I'm with people that I love and I care about, and I have food and a roof, then I do not care. Like money is always good, but I literally could not care less how much money we have in 10 years, as long as we have the things that make us happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So his mindset is more of, I need to be debt free and pay off all of the things that I own. And my mindset is, I need to decorate the house and I need to go to the beach.
Literally the epitome of a guy versus a girl
Yes.
thought process.
Yes, exactly.
You know, everybody wants to be rich, but like it takes time, and you know, there's things I've done in life that is like, hello Angel. It's like streaming and stuff like that, and like I think, I don't know, a lot of creators, especially a lot of full-time creators, I'm not there yet, but like a lot of full-time creators definitely understand the mindset of like sometimes to get to where you want, you do actually have to like, not necessarily cut people out of your life, but just like not have plans. It's hard. It's hard because these things take time. Like especially just look at streaming, just without YouTube or anything. Look at streaming in a box. Like that's like dedicating hours of your time. If you want to grow anyway, into many hours of your time to like, and so that's hours of your time you're not doing something else, not spending time with people or whatever. I mean, you spend time with people in that, I guess, through the chat, but it's like not your actual loved ones. And I mean, they could become that. They could become really good friends, but yeah, it's hard. But I think life's about a balance. So I truly believe in working hard and like going for what Kevin's talking about. Yeah, try to make as much money as you can, but just don't forget to balance your life.
Right.
Don't get burnt out. I think, you know, and I think there could be a situation with you guys where y'all don't completely look separate ways in the situation. You don't like this is just my opinion. Like, and my advice to it is like, y'all don't look both different ways. Like where you're like fighting against what each other wants. Just like find a middle ground. Like if he wants to, I would just be like, okay, babe, then go for it. Like you find the time, but then like, Like,
Um,
sitting around and
this
being tired from work and stuff doesn't get that done.
right.
So it's like, but where's this confidence, babe? Like watching stuff isn't gonna get anywhere. You can learn, yeah, but actually getting out there and trying it is another thing. And some
This
people do that
guy,
with the casino.
yeah, I don't know what this guy's name was, or I would give it to you for y'all to go check it out his videos, because some of them are good. This specific video that he showed me said, "Do not go out to eat because you're poor, because you're in debt, because you have a car payment. Do not go on vacations because you have a car payment." It's I don't like that mindset. Some people can have that mindset, but to
Yeah,
me, we are in our 20s. We are going to go on vacation. We are going to go out to eat. We are going to do things. Just because we have a car payment does not
yeah.
mean to sit at home until your car is paid off. I do not. That's a mindset I do not agree with, because to me, memories are more important than what money you have. Or
Yeah,
yeah,
it can get kind of stale just doing the same thing. There's a balance to that. I get what the guy's trying to say because I think there's a lot of people that need the advice of like,
yeah,
yeah, on this particular day, you might want to just eat some ramen because like some people literally can't afford to eat out and they somehow do it anyway. I have friends in my life that do that, and I'm just like, whatever, do you? Like um, but yeah, living is important too. Finding a balance. That doesn't mean there's a balance to be had. Don't go crazy. Like don't eat out all the time if you can't. But then it's that person's business and no one else's.
yeah.
Um,
Do you know what happened a year ago today? Do, do, do,
no.
do, do, do.
I'll just say no.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint. We talked about it on most recent episodes, and there is a hint in this video right now.
No.
Hold on, give me a minute. The hint just left.
Oh, the freaking animal thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. So like that we found them on Valentine's Day, right? Or they disappeared
yeah.
on Valentine's Day.
We found him a year ago today,
That's crazy.
and now they're running around the house.
Found them. Yeah, it's been over like well over the time. Like that was past midnight or whatever.
Yeah. Um.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I walked in the living room this morning, or no, it was last night, and I said a year ago today we found, or a year ago tomorrow we found the
Kevin
cat.
probably didn't even remember that. Like he doesn't even
Yeah.
remember that happened.
Yeah.
Just like what are you talking
Um.
about? That's crazy. It's already been a year.
Yeah.
Time
Um.
flies. It's already freaking. I basically am calling this mid-February. Like we just got to February 1st, and we just got to January 1st. Like I
Yeah.
don't know where it's going.
Um. This is, I guess, a coincidence, and like I said, like I'm okay with talking about this because it does not, like, we're handling it anyway. So Sunday, after like we knew what was going on, Sunday, or maybe it was Monday. Monday was like the final day. Anyway, Monday I went to my Facebook and a memory popped up and was like, the I said I lost my babies or something, and was like, yeah, it was crazy because the same day that we lost the cats is the same date that everything happened. So I was like, okay, well, this is what we're not going to do. If I ever get pregnant again, we're not going to be pregnant during this time because it's just a bad day for us to lose kids, apparently. Like, dark humor, whatever, don't come for me. But yeah, I was like, this date is cursed from now on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, okay, well, we got to keep the doors locked, like not go outside today because I don't want the cats to get out again since this day is now cursed. Yeah, I was.
Yeah. It can be like that, or it's just like memories just make you think that's like cursed or something. It's crazy.
Yeah. But I was gonna quiz you on pregnancy products. I'm not gonna do that today. But I do
Yeah, I
still
forgot
want.
about that.
I still want to do that. So, because there will be a time where I'm pregnant again.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like, it's a very real question, very personal question. But are y'all gonna try again?
100%.
Like literally, you're like full fledged, like just going. Like, or are y'all gonna
Like,
wait?
Like, we're not waiting.
You're
Um,
gonna you're gonna get pregnant. You're mace yeah. You're gonna do it until it sticks.
um, so
Because well, even more
there's a
personal
close
question is
friend.
Kevin about that is my
Yes,
real
Kevin
question.
is like 100%, but here's why. Some people say to wait until a couple months. After you miscarry, you are more fertile than you normally are. It's like after you have a baby, you're extremely fertile. Like that's been proven by my doctor. One of my close friends, not close friends. Why did I say close friends? One of my friends that I know of, that I know, that you know, that it's related to one of your close friends. Um, went through the same thing and got pregnant immediately after. And I've talked to that person and they gave me some hope. They were like, what's crazy about it is the first day that my period started this week, even though it's not a period, that's what it's science is called. Like, it's the first day of my cycle. Whenever you're pregnant, they count it from the first day of your cycle.
Hmm.
So I didn't know if you knew that, but you're actually not pregnant for those 2 weeks because you have your cycle and then 2 weeks later you ovulate, and that's actually when your egg, which is your baby, ends up being your baby, is released. So the first 2 weeks of pregnancy you're not even pregnant.
Hmm.
Um, so the day that we lost the baby we were pregnant with, if I get pregnant this cycle, will also be the first day that are of the start of my pregnancy, of the new pregnancy. Do you see what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, we will be trying again. We are not giving up. Like, we're not even taking a break. Um, only because we don't want to miss out on our chance if I am fertile.
Yeah,
Um,
well, I mean, obviously hope it works out, but I don't know. I know you've been through this again, so I mean, or been through this before. What am I saying?
mhm.
And so as much as it sucks to say it out loud, I would just maybe prepare
Yeah.
for
We,
that to keep happening. I mean, like
yeah.
it's. I mean, obviously, like I'm stupid to even say that because it's like it's so
Well,
obvious, but
here's the thing with my most recent one, like the one that I'm going through right now, is my doctor told me that there was some signs of certain things, but it should be okay. But it should be. It was always, but it should be okay. Like, you're healthy, so it should be okay. Or unless everything is 100% exactly how it's supposed to be, then I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not going with the it should be okay. I'm going with the it is okay right now. Like, there's nothing you have to worry about. Like, of course there's going to be little things that I may have to worry about, but there was in the past week there's been a lot of different things leading up where this is it, but it should be okay. Like,
yeah,
I'm not. Yeah. I know what to watch out for this time that I knew that I found out. I sorry. I know what to watch out for next time that I found out this time about being this far along. Just about how your hormone levels look and what your pregnancy tests look like and how dark the lines are. Like, I've never been this far along to be able to test that stuff out, and now I know the difference. Um, so yeah, I mean, we'll just be watching out for those things next time and not get our hopes up until everything is 100% good. Which we thought it was, and I was trying to like hold on to the hope that it should be okay. Like, doctor says I'm fine and I should be okay. Like, there's no, I'm not gonna be a should be next time. Like,
yeah.
um, yeah, but that's that.
Well, to kind of wrap it up, what advice would you give to people?
If you're going through something right now and you're not smiling and you're not happy and you're not able to get out of bed, I don't want you to think that I'm going through this and that's not it. Like, I am processing it in my own way, and
Hmm.
I have a really good support system, and I'm very thankful for that. Um, sorry. Everybody handles things in different ways, and just surround yourself with positive people and positive things. And if you're going through what I'm going through right now, then it sucks. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And don't feel something I've been struggling with. Do not feel less about how you feel because you've never met your baby and you weren't far along. Like, the people have told, well, you didn't hear the heartbeat. You didn't. I've heard that people have said you didn't hear the heartbeat. You didn't see the baby on the ultrasound. You didn't. It doesn't matter. There was still what if there was still a life that could have been here. There was still like birthdays and the birth and everything that we missed out on because it wasn't the right time and it
Yeah.
wasn't the right baby for, or it wasn't a healthy baby. Like, there was some reason that this happened, and I believe that just because of my faith. Like, there was a reason behind this, and I'm still allowed to grieve even though I never saw it or
Yeah.
heard it.
Makes
That's
sense.
my advice.
Mine is just don't be an a-hole online.
Yeah.
Don't be mean. Don't like think you know people and just assume stuff and write stuff in your dungeon under your mom's house. Just like literally, just spread. This is my long story short. Just spread spread love and joy. I tried to blend joy and love, and it culminated in a weird mutant. Spread joy and love. Don't hate. Appreciate. And that's that. I'm not gonna keep going on that one, but we love you guys, and we'll talk to you next week, 2 weeks from now, whatever it is. Goodbye.